Just close your eyes. Know the peace within. The eternal, non-dual secret about yourself remains unknown to you. The secret is that you are already the non-dual, beyond birth and death. You are already the non-dual, beyond duality. You are already the non-dual, beyond manifestation. You are the non-dual, eternal, endlessly you are here, without beginning and ending. And nothing has never happened to you. This is the ultimate secret about you, which you are yet to explore it directly. I am introducing the very basic, important factor which is within you just now. Just now, you know the peace within, you know the stillness within, you know that you are directly, your presence is known. This knowing your presence directly is the beginning of your consciousness. You are conscious of yourself only just now, and in your consciousness only, everything is appearing, happening, and disappearing just now. But you do not know that consciousness is within you, and you do not know that out of your consciousness only, everything begins just now. But for your consciousness, there is no thing here. The very fundamental, basic, essential factor itself is missing. Out of ignorance of yourself. What is this self? Nothing but your conscious presence, knowing your conscious presence as I amness. Yourself is consciousness. But your consciousness does not know that it is consciousness. It is holding on to the personality to be itself, the form to be itself, all the identifications added to be itself. Since your consciousness does not know that it is consciousness, it is endlessly suffering, suffering, suffering out of the ignorance of itself. Your consciousness is yet to know itself. Your consciousness is yet to know what it is. Till then, your consciousness is trapped by whatever that appears, whatever that moves, whatever that happens, whatever that disappears within this duality. Your consciousness is beyond duality. It is beyond movement. It is beyond words just now. As it does not know that it is beyond duality, beyond movement, beyond objects, it is continuously and constantly trapped by the form level identities, manifested object level identities. Listen deeply. I am talking to your consciousness only just now. You are conscious at present. You cannot deny it. Even to deny it, you must be here. But you do not know what this consciousness is, and you are only conscious at present because you are constantly accepting yourself to be the tiny form with limited labels to be yourself. You do not know the immense, boundless, unlimited infinity about yourself. You are neither the form nor the identifications. You are neither the object nor any movements within space. You are beyond just now. You are beyond words just now. You are beyond object just now. You are beyond duality just now. You are already the non-dual. Non-dual means neither movement nor changes, neither appearances nor disappearances. Ever constant and ever present. Indescribable. Your consciousness is non-dual just now, but it is yet to know about its non-dual richness. In spite of listening to my teachings, your consciousness is again trapped by the personality identifications. To that extent, you remain ignorant about yourself. What is here other than yourself? Prove me. What is here other than yourself? First, you are conscious of yourself. In your consciousness only the world happens, cosmos happens, galaxies happens. You are yet to know the unmoving, unchanging reality within you. I am helping you to know the unmoving, unchanging, eternal truth within you. That's why you are made to close your eyes. By closing eyes, you remain free from the duality show. You have got no business with the duality show, which is constantly changing, appearing and disappearing at an unexplainable speed. How you are trapped by that which appears and disappears which is not you, because your consciousness is yet to know that it is only consciousness out of which everything begins, happens, and disappears. But for your consciousness, there is no thing here. When are you going to know that only out of your consciousness everything is happening? Your consciousness is the master. Your consciousness is an emperor out of which everything is reflected. Your consciousness does not know that out of itself the entire reflection is happening just now. That's the main drawback. Why your consciousness is unable to know about itself? Because your focus is only outward. Outside there's nothing here except reflections, objects, movements, happenings, and you are none of them. You are inward. To know your inward beauty, to know your internal richness, to know your non-dual supreme reality, I am helping you now to close your eyes and know the peace within. I am directly taking you to your destination through stillness. This stillness is the beginning of the supreme richness within you. Only by abiding in this stillness, which is beyond words, your consciousness wakes up. Note this point deeply. Your consciousness is beyond words. Your consciousness is prior to words. How it is getting trapped by the words which is not itself? Because it remains ignorant about itself. Your consciousness is beyond words. How it is getting trapped? By the words which happens out of it. Consciousness is not the word. It is beyond words. Words happen out of it. Words are only for utility. It is not you. But you take the words to be yourself. Then how will you remain conscious of yourself? Then how will you wake up from the perceived dream? And how can you know your non-dual, eternal beauty, the ever-present beauty, the endless beauty within you remains unknown to you because your consciousness is not yet conscious of itself. I am talking only to your consciousness. At the personality level, you cannot receive this knowledge. Impossible. I go on, remind your consciousness that you are only consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. Why? Because I know your eternal beauty beyond limitations. I know that you are eternally ever here. I know that you cannot die. I know you are in endless peak of joy already. But you are yet to know it directly on your own. But you cannot know it unless you are conscious of yourself, unless you stay beyond words, unless you observe silently. You need to practice it. The world cannot affect you. Where's the world apart from your consciousness? Are you the world? Movement cannot affect you. Are you the movement? Any object cannot affect you. Are you the object? You are prior to the object, prior to the movement, prior to the world. By not knowing that you are already prior to the entire duality show, you are continuously trapped. What's the remedy for your struggling? There's only one remedy, that is to be conscious of yourself. I go on talk only to be conscious of yourself to your consciousness. Why? Because I know what you are and you are yet to know what you are. Because of great concern for you, I am expounding this knowledge only to wake up your consciousness, which is unknowingly trapped by that which is not itself. You are that beyond duality. You only observe the duality. Just now, to know that you are already the non-dual only, you are made to close your eyes. Because when the eyes are open, immediately you get trapped by whatever that is happening, whatever that moves, whatever that appears, whatever the happening. So initially, you need to close your eyes to remain conscious of yourself, because there's no object. By closing eyes, you are free from the object, free from the word, free from the sound. You are eternally here. How to know that you are eternally here? How can you know through the personality identity? Impossible, because there are no persons here. Every form is happening just now by consciousness itself, and that is your consciousness. Once you know that in your consciousness only world is happening just now, you remain silent. You stay beyond words. Because it is happening spontaneously. You have no business to interfere with the play except to observe. The moment you are conscious, everything is happening spontaneously. And knowing that you are conscious itself is a spontaneous happening only. In deep sleep, you do not know that you are. Spontaneously, you become conscious of yourself. Morning 5 or so, spontaneously, you become conscious of yourself and you come to know your presence. This knowing your presence as I amness itself is spontaneous. Out of this spontaneity, everything is happening spontaneously. Just now, right now, your breathing, heartbeat, all metabolic activities, and every sound around you, everything is spontaneously happening. You do not know how to observe. The main key is to observe silently, and you have lost the key. You do not know how to observe. You know only to identify and get disturbed, but you do not know how to observe and remain totally free from whatever that is perceived. Now I am helping your consciousness to be conscious of itself and to stay beyond words and to observe silently unless it is essential. Just to observe silently and use words only for minimum requirement. Rest of the time, be with yourself, because there's nothing here other than yourself. Unknowingly, you are spending your entire time without being conscious of yourself. The only purpose of your presence here, the only purpose of knowing that you are consciousness here, the only purpose that you are knowing that you are here is to know what you are. Your consciousness remains ignorant of itself, so it is accepting itself to be a fixed form with limited labels and it says, yes, I am this, I am that, I am so and so, so and so. The moment your consciousness knows that it is neither the form nor the labels, and it is only consciousness, it stays beyond words. Because you know yourself, what you are, you know. There's no need to describe about you through words. Already you are. Beyond words, what words can be used to describe about you? Tell me. You know that you are, that is more than enough. Stay beyond words. And whatever observed are not you, they just happen spontaneously by the play of the elements. Let the elements play and let any movement happens. Why do you bother? Why not observe silently? Once you are conscious of yourself, you remain so peaceful, so joyful, and content with what you are already, because you do not know what you are. You are searching the peace only outwardly through materials, by moving here and there. But now, by closing eyes, you come to know the peace within you. This is more than enough for you. Because this is the beginning of the unmoving, unchanging, eternal reality. Only through this stillness you will come to know what you are, and your consciousness wakes up totally from the perceived duality show. I help your consciousness by indicating that you are only consciousness, by reminding that you are only consciousness, and say that you are the Supreme already. Know it, and the only purpose of your being here is to know what you are exactly. But you never value yourself, never focus attention on yourself, never respect yourself. Had you respected yourself, you will remain silent throughout the waking state. The way of respecting yourself is to abide in stillness and stay beyond words. Your nature is beyond movement, beyond words. But you never abide in your nature. Your nature is only to observe. But you do not know how to observe. So you are not knowing what you are. You always know, and you always want to know what you are not. Unless you come across a realized, there's no possibility for your consciousness to remain conscious of itself and to remain free from the ignorance about itself. At least now, remind yourself that you are only consciousness within, and you can know it by knowing the stillness within, and know that the truth is within, the eternal absolute richness is within, and you are already within, and everything is within. What are you doing here outside, which is not yourself? Because you are yet to know the reality within you. Till then, you will be continuously trapped by the outside show, which is not yourself. That's why I help you to abide within, to settle within, and to stabilize within, because that is the only option. to be with yourself, to be more conscious, to remain wakeful constantly, so that your consciousness can merge totally into the source of awareness and wake up totally to know that it is eternally ever here. So it is your consciousness which is trapped by the perceived duality unknowingly, because it is yet to know that it is only consciousness within. Just now you are that, and you can know that you are that only by being conscious of yourself. But you are never conscious, then how can you know what you are? Why I am expounding this knowledge to you? I am not telling any story here. I am giving you the absolute secret about your eternal richness. Why not to listen sincerely and abide inwardly, constantly, and wake up totally, which is preventing you. Having come here and listening to my teachings, never miss yourself. I am talking to the truth within you, not to any person here. There are never any person here. What do you call as a person? The tiny form to be a person? Can the form exist if you are not conscious? Can the form move if you are not conscious? Can the form function when you are no more conscious? Without your consciousness, can the form function? That's why I say you are yet to know what you are. You take yourself only to be the form with fixed label, and you are yet to know that you are only consciousness within. By focusing your attention only toward the outside world, how can you know what you are? You will be more trapped at the personality level, and you will remain more ignorant. Then you cannot wake up. You are still into the dream, extending the dream. How can you wake up and know what you are? At least after coming here and being with me and listening to these teachings straight from the source, better focus attention inwardly and be with yourself constantly. And observe the show silently. I am certain your consciousness will wake up and know that it is ever present. You cannot die because you are never born. You are eternally here. I know the secret about you, and you are yet to know the eternal beauty in you. I am giving you the ultimate secret about yourself, and I am telling you why you are unable to know. And I am giving you the tips also how to be with yourself and how to remain wakeful, so that you can remain totally free from the duality show. You are already free, whether the duality happens or not. Then how do you get trapped? And where this duality happens? Only in your consciousness. First find out what this consciousness is. Then you will know whether the duality is the real or not. How to find out what this consciousness is? Catch hold of the consciousness and be with consciousness constantly. Then you know that the consciousness is only within, because it is not changing. But you are catching hold of the personality to be yourself, which is constantly changing. Then how can you wake up and know what you are? By holding on to the personality, you fail to be conscious of yourself. By not remaining conscious of yourself, you remain ignorant forever about the eternal, unexplainable, supreme richness within you. In spite of being the highest truth, you appear to struggle. You appear to suffer about the perceived duality show, which is not you. Because you fail to be with yourself, fail to focus attention on yourself, constantly worried about the movie, not knowing that the observer is within. When are you going to know the observer in you? You are only the observer. You are not the observed. All your worries are only about the observed movie, which is constantly changing. The observer is unchanging, ever constant. Why not you know the observer in you? You go on describe about so many things, not knowing who is the observer. Can anything happen without being observed? You are the eternal observer, and you only observe whether anything happens or not. Even when conscious happens or not, you are prior to consciousness and its play. In spite of being the highest, ever-present, unborn, eternal observer, you remain disturbed, perturbed by this duality show happening, which is not you. So it is better to find out what you are exactly. I help you for the same. So I tell your consciousness that you are only consciousness at present. Better remain conscious of yourself. And how to remain conscious of yourself? Just stay beyond words. How to stay beyond words? Initially, close your eyes and know the peace within. Jabla is here, and you need to observe the world through this peace, not through identifications. You never observe through peace, through stillness. You always observe through identifications. So again you get caught. You appear to suffer because you do not know how to observe. Just now you observe silently. Inwardly there's no object. In the same way, without words, you need to observe even with eyes open. Observe all the objects around you. Observe all the forms around you. They are all out of yourself only. So you will find so much love, infinite love, which cannot be explained. And you will not find any division between you and the object perceived. So you cannot fight. You cannot hate. Where is anything here apart from your consciousness? Prove me. Everything is part of yourself. When are you going to know? How can you know through personality identifications? When are you going to know that you are only conscious? And there's nothing here apart from your consciousness. And you are the eternal supreme just now. When are you going to know? That's my question. Because I have got great concern for you. In spite of being the highest truth, we appear to struggle, suffer, because of the non-existing personality, which is not you. And you are only consciousness, but you never remain conscious. At least after listening to this class, be conscious of yourself. Save yourself from the duality show, which is not you and which is constantly changing, which is appearing and disappearing, which is never you. Why do you bother about the movie, which is not you? You are only the observer. When are you going to know that you are only the observer and ever present and you cannot die? Just remain conscious of yourself. That's the only solution. Listen to my teachings deeply. I am here only to wake up your consciousness, which is unnecessarily and unknowingly suffering through personality identifications, though it is already the indescribable, non-dual, eternal, ever-present, supreme absolute. Stay beyond words. You are connected to me through stillness. I am ever here. Be with me beyond words. You are never separate from me. Know the stillness within constantly and wake up totally to know your eternal, non-dual, supreme truth.